My 29 husband doesn't think he's the father of his kid and thinks I, 28F, am lying. What should I do? We recently had a daughter in March. We were both beyond thrilled. My husband has brown hair and I have black hair. In the first couple of months, our daughter had black hair, but it slowly started to lighten to a dirty blonde. Same thing with her eyes, they were first brown and now they're green. We both have brown eyes. I told him I did not cheat on him. Just because our daughter has different features does not mean I slept with another person. I told him hair and eyes can change as one ages. He himself is white, which explains this. Although nobody in his family has blonde hair, some do have green eyes. He told me he wanted to get a paternity test done. I felt hurt, but if that's what it was going to take, I would do it. He changed his mind about the paternity test because he needed time to research. I think he thought that I wouldn't want him to do the paternity test to prove that I was indeed lying. I really don't know why he doesn't understand basic genetics or why he's hesitant to get a paternity test now. Do I force him to get a paternity test? Give it time? I'm just sad that I have to prove this to him. TL, Doctor, my husband thinks I cheated on him because our daughter has slightly different features than us. Edit, I am not Caucasian, but he is. Hi guys, I promise to love you if you like, comment, and subscribe. I mean, have you shown him a 9th grade biology textbook that explains recessive traits? ETA, you have the right to be hurt and angry about this. He could learn from 5 minutes of Googling why his suspicion is unwarranted, but instead he's jumped right to accusing you of cheating on him and trying to cover it up when confronted. It might be different if there were some history of cheating or sketchy behavior on your part, is there? Otherwise, he's making a major accusation without doing the most minimal amount of research. I'm sad you have to do this too, but I'm honestly not optimistic for your future with a guy who challenges you on paternity but then won't have it confirmed. Like UTF knows what he's researching and where if he can't wrap his head around the basics of recessive genes, doesn't trust you, and won't take you up on the offer of the thing he initially suggested. Wife flirting with strangers online. Did I go too far to find out more? My 38 meters, wife, 38F, of 14 years has her nose buried in her phone constantly. As she's self-employed, I'd come to accept this as necessary, but on 3 occasions in the past 18 meters I've stumbled upon inappropriate flirting with strangers on Insta via shared device. Each time she's been shifty and in denial. Trust has been eroded badly and I reluctantly took to checking up on said device. She's now routinely deleting chats and clearing notifications, which we haven't discussed. Her content online seems to court male attention, lots of selfies and sometimes suggestive posts. I try not to dictate, it's her life etc., but every now and again I burst and we argue. She apologizes. Soon we're right back where we were. But lack of trust is like poison and I had a hunch the issue hadn't gone away. So I decided to set up a generic fake Insta account purporting to be a fictional local male and started subtly making contact in a semi-sleazy way that most happily married women would simply ignore. She fairly quickly made contact with mildly flirty messages on the back of my fake interest and after a while, to my horror, suggested the chat move to WhatsApp. Obviously avoiding the shared device Insta problem. I'm feeling sick by this point as, having set up a fake WhatsApp profile too, I know, I'm in deep. She spends an entire day, even when in my company and even when in bed beside me, messaging semi-sleazy fake mail and courting further advances. I feel some guilt for the lengths I've gone to see what is happening and I had no plan for what I would do if my suspicions were confirmed. We have children and have recently moved to a new city together, which was meant to be more than enough excitement for 1 year. TL, Doctor, I have no idea what to do next. Will she agree to meet with fake sleaze if I push? Did I go too far to find out the truth? Is it just a harmless ego boost that won't go further? Or is my marriage essentially over? Update, thank you for all comments, mostly helpful. Confronted her this afternoon. She lied and then, faced with evidence, I didn't reveal the fake AC scenario, she broke down. Commenters were right, I'd seen enough, further monitoring would only have brought more turmoil. I don't have the will for counseling, this has been an awful betrayal and I can only cringe at the actions I didn't see. It's over. Kids are priority now. Wish me luck. Best wishes to all. Update 2, hard to write. But yes. It was physical. Very physical. With multiple men. Over a sustained period of time and as recently as 2 weeks ago. She tells me it is over. That she wasn't sure if she wanted me, but now she is sure. It was mostly just romance, but with the most recent affair there were feelings. It has been a tortuous few days and there's I know worse to come. Thank you for your comments. Divorce is inevitable now, but she is currently refusing to accept. Telling me she has finally told me everything and how it will never happen again, how she has been sad and needs professional help. Predictable, I suppose. Sadly, disastrously, I can never ever trust her again. There can be no going back. Peace. I was at 5 a.m. this morning confronting the current squeeze. A married man with a child. So, horrifically, unintentionally, there are 2 houses in ruins today. A very unhappy ending indeed. I don't think it matters how far she'll go at this point, the more important thing is that you don't trust her to not go too far, and probably for very good reason. Is your goal to restore trust and go back to normal? Because I don't think your wife is on the same page with that goal, and I think your mistrust is probably very valid. I'd talk to her about it and maybe suggest couples therapy, but figuring out what your goals are is probably a better place to focus now instead of continuing down this path of trying to catch her in the act. You've seen enough now. Save yourself the pain you know you're about to cause yourself, work on solutions, even if that means extraction. My 19F boyfriend's 20M mom asked me to break up with him. When I said no, she asked us never to see each other until the pandemic is over because she hopes we break up before then. I've been with my boyfriend for over a year and his mom hated me from the start. Keep in mind that we've never met in person and we talked for the first time a few days ago. She thinks I'm a bad influence on her son because I come from a poor, traumatic background and have no good family relations. Her opinion of me never got too much in the way until now, when I decided to live in the same city as my college and my boyfriend happens to live 20 miles away. My boyfriend lives with his mom because he's doing school online, pandemic. In July, I went from being 5,000 miles away from him to 60. When he asked his mom about visiting me in August, she was against it, but he decided to go against her will and see me for a week as we hadn't seen each other in person in 6 months. When he got back, his mom was sad and angry and it affected his mental health badly. A few days ago, he asked his mom if he could visit me every other week once I moved into the new city. His mom then FT'd me asking me to break up with him because she doesn't like me. We had an hour-long conversation, but basically, she said she didn't want her son to be in a serious relationship because he's young. She also said she sacrificed everything to come to the US so her son can get a good education, and she's disappointed that her son wound up with me. She gaslighted me for most of the conversation, telling me to think of her saying that I am impulsive and irresponsible for moving to a new apartment, and then using the pandemic as an excuse for me being selfish about wanting to see her son. I say excuse because she asked us not to see each other until the pandemic was over, and I asked her if it was because she was worried for her son's health or if it was because she didn't like me. She then said, truthfully, it's because I want you to break up. My boyfriend intends to listen to his mom about not seeing me and believes that is the best scenario. His mom will be happy and we can still date. He doesn't want to go through seeing his mom sad again because he defied her last time. He is optimistic about finding some way around it so we can at least see each other in the spring. Even so, I don't realistically expect to see him until maybe summer, and that's on really limited terms because his mom truly dislikes me. I don't know if I can go through living so close to him but not being allowed to see him for 7+ months. For context, my boyfriend is really close to his mom and they've really only had each other for most of their lives. She's single and divorced twice, I believe, and my boyfriend has said that her happiness depends on him, so he's pretty conflicted as well. I will probably send this post over to him so he can see the replies. TL, Doctor, my boyfriend's mom hates me, doesn't want me to see him in person until COVID's over, and we're obeying her wishes, so, what should I do? What are my options? I'm not sure if I should stand by my boyfriend's decision, keep fighting to see him, find a different compromise, or walk away. Edit, for all those asking, they're Korean. Honestly, I'm sure he's an otherwise good guy, but you don't want a mama's boy who will choose his mother's narc/borderline temper tantrums over you because it's momentarily convenient. Don't dump him because his mother wants it. Take a break and hope he grows up and grows a pair really soon. JMO.